God like, turn that page. And I'm like, but you know, God, he like, turn that page. Turn that page. Welcome back to Pages of Her, page 12. Jump right into it. When God's telling us to turn that page, we start to think of all the things that could go wrong. What if I'm misunderstanding what he said? What if it isn't even him talking to me? What if I'm moving too soon, doing something that I probably shouldn't have? How do I know this is God's voice in my head and not the devil's voice in my head? You're walking away from a chapter that God has already fulfilled, and you're just like, oh, I just need one more edit. I need one more thing to do so that I can make this next part of my life even grander than I could have imagined. But you're thinking that you're doing it on your own, and you're not doing it on your own. He's ordaining all of those things. When God pulls you into a new chapter, do not rewrite the old one. Remember, y'all, I was telling you in one of my previous videos that I think I might have said over $200,000 in debt from an investment property. It's truly way more than that. It's at least 215, to be honest with you. But I have like tried to remove myself from that situation as much as I can, because I get super nervous or super intense when it comes to, well, what if, well, I did this wrong, or we shouldn't have jumped out there to do this. Because let me just go ahead and give you guys a little background. My husband and I want to leave an inheritance for our children, and I didn't birth the children. They are my stepchildren, but I have step grandchildren, he has grandchildren, so on and so forth, right? And this was one of our ways of doing that, of purchasing an investment property, fixing it up, selling it, and using that profit to further other things that we're wanting to do. The issue was, a couple of issues was, this was all last year, 2025. A couple of the issues was the contractor. Okay, I was like, that didn't sound right when I first said it. The contractor, they ended up taking a good chunk, like 30 grand from us, and did some work and didn't do all the work, and then just was like, all right, ghosted us. And when I tell you, I had to like fight my flesh tooth and nail, because I was sitting there thinking, how on God's green earth do you think that this is okay to treat people this way? And lo and behold, as it came out about us, we were seeing online other different people talking about it. But when we first booked them or hired them, there was no issues about them at that time. So that's that. And then not including all the other monies that we had to put into it. So the lawn care, which was like $1,000, girl, we had the freaking city come out, put a notice on our door talking about some, oh, y'all about to be fined if y'all don't get this grass cut. We like, oh, because we were really thinking that by now we would have had this whole thing done by now, and the contractors would have been already doing it. But at that time they had quit and they had left, so then the grass was knee high. Little ordinance was what we were messing up there in that neighborhood. So that was $1,000. You like $1,000 for grass? Yeah, it was bad. It was like a jungle. It was a jungle. So not including the architecture designs, not including the structural design, not including the Wi-Fi for the camera, for the internet, the water, the lights, power, right? So all these different things, and it just has added up and skyrocketed and spiraled out of control. So we are in the process of getting the house sold. We've had it under contract 4 times, and all 4 times they have pulled out. Now, the last time we were going to go through with it, but it happened on their end. Monies and stuff happened on their end, but 4 times, right? So when you're thinking of, okay, well, I should have did this, or I should have done that, and how do I know God is leading me, and how do I know this? I am telling you, I've been there before. I am there right now, of wondering, what is the purpose behind this? Because I know that we have this grandiose idea of what we see our lives being and how we can support people going beyond our family. And we can't do that to the magnitude that we want to do that in the situations that we're in right now. Okay? So I'm speaking from experience. So I used to reread the closed chapters, and I used to think of them and save them as drafts, because I'm like, well, God ain't done yet. He ain't finished yet. And it's true. We don't know what God has in store for us. We can't even imagine all the things that he has in store for us. But for me, I'm replaying conversations. I am revisiting decisions that were already completed and closed out. Like, there's nothing I can do with these situations that are occurring right now except to continue to be submitting to God and saying, hey, Lord, you have me. I am completely in your graces right now. Like, I know that you know what I want to do with my family and our lives. And we took this huge step to accomplish that. And am I wrong for thinking these things? Should I not have done it? Should I not have purchased the home so that we can give back and do this and do that? You start to wonder a lot more than you probably should, and your mind starts playing a lot of tricks on you. I trust him. I trust God. And I want to encourage you guys to do the same, right? I question his timing, and I still feel like right now I still have room to grow. I still have opportunities to grow and to learn and to say, you know what, if you just have the faith the size of a mustard seed, right? I sometimes feel like things are starting to shake. The foundation is starting to shake a little bit under me, right? I'm trying to keep one foot stable, one foot like concrete to the floor, or smashed up against the floor where I could feel it. But I need to lose that control. Like, I can't be guided and try to guide. It just doesn't make sense. Like, how are you trying to lead and you're not the shepherd? I am the sheep. For those who know. So the unfamiliar territory that you may be going through right now or feeling right now is okay. It's okay to feel those things, but get into your word, jump into your word. I had I don't want to say the crappiest attitude yesterday. It wasn't really crappy. I was just in my mind a lot. And sometimes when I'm in my mind, I quiet my mouth. And that could be a detriment. That could not be a detriment. I don't know. But it took me a few hours to be like, all right, girl, get back to yourself. My husband was like, let me know when the real one come back. And I'm like, but he was true. He was right. Because he knows when I switch like that, it's going to take me a minute to come back to my normal happy giddy stuff, dancing around the house, singing songs and whatever. Like, it's just going to take me a hot minute to do that. But you know what? I did, and I realized that if God closed a certain door, I don't need to reopen it for a review. And just because it's closed doesn't mean it's denied, right? Just because something is delayed doesn't mean it's denied. Sometimes we rewrite old chapters because we want validation, certainty, a guarantee. We want to know and feel comfort. We want this familiarity, but obedience rarely comes with a full explanation. I feel like that was the word. I don't know. I feel like that was just a whole, like, again, if I had a mic, I'd be like, mic drop that thing, right? Obedience rarely comes with a full explanation. And first of all, who do you think you are to require an explanation from God? Like, you ain't nobody. I ain't nobody. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's not that he's forgotten about us. We tend to forget about him. Turning the page doesn't mean the last chapter was wrong. It just means it's complete and it's time to go on and move on until the Lord says otherwise. Being complete doesn't need editing, right? So when it's time for you to move on, you use that situation to propel you to another situation. to another circumstance, to something that is going to help you grow and help you develop and get to where you're going. There will be a time, my husband said this yesterday, there will be a time that we're going to look back and realize how wonderful and amazing God was for us throughout this entire process. I mean, talk about paying your mortgage here, where we live, and then the mortgage at the investment property, among other things. Like, and when you think about all the things that you still have, that I still have heat, I still have AC, I still have food, I can still go out and get me, like we went to Dave's Hot Chicken the other day, and they got this nice little cauliflower, breaded cauliflower with the pickles and the sauce and the bun, and it was a mild, I had the mild, my husband had the moderate, a medium, what are you gonna call it? I think it was medium. I had a mild, he had a medium. Divine, okay? We still got money to go spend $30 on some Dave's Hot Chicken cauliflower. Ain't no light get cut off. My car still work. It's a 2016 car, you know what I mean? But she's still out there doing her thing. Was paid off in 3 years instead of the 6 years that they wanted me to pay it off. And I was like, nope, why am I waiting 6 years when I got the money right now? Just pay it off. Because you're going to pay more in interest over the course of the loan versus just paying it straight up. So you got to stop romanticizing what God is doing for you, or what God is releasing. He does it in his own timing. Memory edits detail. So I do encourage you guys to write down the full truth in your season of that season. And not just the highlight reel, not just the couple points that you want to write that's a summary of the situation. No, ask, were you truly aligned? Did this thing serve you? Were you growing? Were you in peace? Were you happy? What happened? Clarity from the situation protects you from going into nostalgia. When you're thinking of, oh, I should have done that or should have did this, let me change it up. No, it's done. What's done is done. So write it down, keep track of it, so that you don't go back and say, oh, well, I should have done this. And great, you can say how you could have succeeded, and then to succeed in that way that you have now learned from, right? But to go back and say that the things that you went through were for naught, it wasn't. God has already ordained all of our lives, no matter how crazy and sick it is, no matter how amazing and happy it is, whatever it is, he has already ordained it. So you can't change the path that that he's created for you. Now you are the author of your decisions. He could have laid out this nice little path for you, and instead of going right like he told you to go, you went left. That's on you. That's your problem. That's your issue. You figure that out. Why did you do that? Why did you not listen to the power above, right? So that's number one. Number two is, don't carry old language into new seasons. So saying things that are negative. Oh, this never works for me. Oh, I just don't listen, or I can't do that. I'm just bad at this. Oh, that would never happen for me. I always end up doing this, or I always end up doing that. That's the old way you used to think, right? That's the old script thinking. New seasons require new thought processes and require positive self-talk. Let this new chapter be blank. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. This one probably is going to be hard. You do not need to pre-write your ending. Trust isn't planning every detail. Trust is, and faith is walking step by step by step, believing that God is guiding you, right? You don't have to see things to see him to know that he's there. Trust, again, isn't planning every detail. It's moving without all of them. You can be strategic, but don't try to control what's meant to unfold. Don't try to control every single thing, because again, how can you guide yourself and also follow? And if you are a woman, then be mindful you are the sheep. Your spouse, your husband, is the shepherd, and God shepherds all of them, right? Or all of us. God shepherds your husband, and your husband shepherds you. Sometimes we don't miss the old chapter. Sometimes it could just, we miss who we were in that season of our lives. We may miss the certainty. We may miss the routine. We may miss the identity that we carried when we were in that season of our life. But growth will always disrupt control. And if God is writing, there's no need for you to write too. Do not pick up the pen. Do not pick up the pencil. If God is writing, you don't need to. If he said to turn the page, do not reread what has already been redeemed. And what's next might really require the version of you that the old chapter you never could have produced. Trust the process. Trust in him. Believe that you don't need to see the end to know that God is there writing it for you. All right, so that's it, y'all. Look, that might have been a hard one. I don't know. Let me know, okay? Until the next page, keep growing, and make sure you hit subscribe, hit like, drop a comment down below. You know, like, let me know what's up. Okay? Peace.